How do fees for orders on Deliveroo actually work? How does the payment system work? For many people, this can prove a very confusing situation. I myself at times have been very confused about the way that some of the fees have been sent out. Well, Deliveroo have sent out probably the most extensive explanation of how they are paying riders. So I'm going to go through that explanation with you today. It's been sent out via an email, so we'll have a look at it on my laptop and we'll go through it and just do a bit of reaction to each and every part of it. Now, a bit of a disclaimer, this is only talking about the base rates that they set, or the pay floor. So this is talking about the minimum amounts that riders should be paid. Now, obviously, dynamic pricing does kick in at times, which means that if it is busier than expected, or if it is raining and there's not enough riders on the road, or if there's an excess amount of orders, then the fees do go up. But I believe that these fees go up in line with this initial base rate and how it is calculated. So just quickly, for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Martin. I've been working for Deliveroo as a rider as well as other companies since about 2021. I've also been working as part of the GMB union to get better rights and better pay for riders for the last year or so. Deliveroo rider pay floor. With Deliveroo, it's really easy to understand how much you'll be paid for each order you deliver. When you receive an order in the rider app, you'll see a full fee you'll get if you choose to accept and complete the order. It's listed on the order on the offer screen. So pretty simple. Okay, that's what we know already. Also on that screen, you'll see a pickup location, a delivery location. If there are multiple pickups or multiple customers or stacked orders, you will see all of them on the map. You can use this information to decide whether to accept or reject the order. First thing to note is it'd be really nice if we had a little bit more information. It's really good if we had information like number of items or weight of items and how far we are looking to travel as well. All three of those things are things that the union have asked for, but have been unsuccessful so far at getting Deliveroo to provide, but we are pushing hard for those things. I know especially cyclists are struggling when they're arriving at some pickups only to be greeted with sort of like 8 or 9 bags of shopping, which they obviously cannot take. So yeah, that's the big thing we're pushing for, is for more information on this screen. Remember, if you don't want to deliver the order, you're free to reject it for any reason. This won't have any impact on how many orders you're offered in the future or the fee you're offered for future orders. So it's not like Just Eat where there's an acceptance rating. And I think with Uber as well, there is an acceptance rating, but it happens in the background. The reason why I think that is there was one time when it actually popped up on the actual screen on the app, but it went away within a few days. So I think they've got an acceptance rating running in the background as well. The fee for each order is unique and primarily based on the time and distance, road distance, not straight line. So again, not like Just Eat seems to represent its fees. Delivery estimates it will take to complete the order. There is no fixed pick up or drop off or per mile fee because we recognise that every order is different. So yeah. I think what they're saying there is like if you're just picking up something light, then the fee is likely to be less. Things that determine the fee that you're offered for each order. The location you are so where you are when you receive the order. The pickup location, or if it's stacked orders, pickups locations. Delivery locations, or if it's stacked order, multiple. How long we estimate it will take to pick up and deliver. Now that one's quite important. This is how they are measuring the pay floor, the actual minimum. The time of day and of the week. Fees are higher at busier times. Well, obviously that's where I was saying before, dynamic pricing kicks in when it's busy on the platform. So what they're talking about here generally is just how the pay floor is working, so the base rate. How busy the partner is. It's interesting they say that because I don't feel like necessarily that is factored in until riders start rejecting orders, like arriving and cancelling orders. But I could be wrong. Whether there are any boosters available. Obviously, the minimum pay floor is only based on a base rate or a normal fee, so a boost should multiply that. The vehicle you choose to use. The fee includes costs associated with the vehicle, which are higher for cars and scooters than bikes and e-bikes. Obviously, because the cost of running those things is higher. Some things that do not determine the fee that you are offered for each order. How many orders you've accepted or rejected in the past. So again, no acceptance rating. How long you've been delivering or riding for Deliveroo. The time that it takes to complete past orders. So if you're so on particular orders, you don't need to worry. You know, if you're stuck in traffic, it's not like they're going to penalise you for that. Whether or not you've had any spilled or damaged orders in the past. Well, that's a good thing because generally I think that's due to poor packaging rather than riders. I mean, there are a few riders that, you know, inevitably take the mickey with chucking too much stuff in a small bag, but I think in general it's poor packaging. There's a couple of restaurants that I could name. I'm sure you can name them in the comments. Whether or not you receive notifications for policy breaches. So if you breached policy in the past, this won't change how the algorithm is offering you orders and how much the fees will be. Whether or not you allow any substitutes on your account. Fees are paid only for completed orders. If for whatever reason you cannot deliver the order or choose not to deliver it after it's accepted, you won't be paid for that order. You also won't be paid for any orders that breach Deliveroo's policies, like not checking customer IDs when delivering alcohol or failing to deliver an order. One important caveat to that is if you arrive at a restaurant or a supermarket and the order has already been taken, you can fill out a fee query form and get a small reimbursement, which is normally £2 or £3. We would like them to put a button in the app where that is automatically applied for, but at the moment we don't have that in place. So yeah, this is something that went away and then we as a union fought to have back. So if you arrive at a supermarket or restaurant and the order's already been taken or it can't be made for whatever reason, obviously they will on the back end check that this is the case. But yeah, you should receive normally £2 reimbursement. So what's the hourly rate? So the hourly rate is $12.30 an hour for the base, for the pay floor, to make it clear. So obviously that hourly rate will shift upwards if it is busy, or should do. But a very important caveat here is this line here at the bottom, based on estimated time. So very importantly, this $12.30 an hour is not for time online. It's not for the actual time it took you to make the order. It is for the estimated time. So the estimated time that Deliveroo thinks the order will take from acceptance to delivery. So it's $12.30 an hour plus vehicle costs. So for a bike, that's 10p an hour. For an e-bike, 19p an hour. For a scooter, 152 an hour. And for a car, 427 an hour. I spoke about this in a previous video. This is due for review at the next meeting we go to. I think they probably have already decided what they want to pay for these things, but we are going to present some research that we've done because these two, especially e-bike and bike, we feel probably should be combined and should be much higher than 10 and 19p. Scooter as well, all the research is showing should be higher by quite a considerable amount, and car to a certain extent as well. How does my vehicle affect my fees? Order fees are slightly higher for orders completed when you are registered in a car or scooter because of the extra costs involved in using these vehicles. And then it's talking about how the GMB pay floor actually works. As part of Deliveroo's industry-first partnership with GMB Union, we're committed to a pay floor that is reviewed and negotiated annually with the GMB. Now, that's a very important thing to say. What we are negotiating with them, unfortunately, is not the average pay. So where what I've heard quite a lot is people say, well, this pay floor's come in, but all I've seen is pay go down. That unfortunately is where the pay floor is not actually kicking in, because the original fee probably would have been higher. Anyway, this is due to normally there being too many riders in an area, and crucially, riders accepting orders at too low a rate. So if you believe that a fee should be £5, the only way to tell the company that that's the way you believe it should be is to reject orders. I myself personally reject across all of the platforms in the hundreds of orders a day. And I make better money because of it. If you accept every order blindly, generally you're going to make a pretty poor amount of money, in my opinion, at least. This pay floor guarantee means, now that's another very important word that they've used there, the word guarantee. There is no real guarantee, because, again, they're talking about estimates. This guarantee means that for the estimate time that we would take to complete an order, from the moment you accept the order to when your market is delivered, your fee will meet the pay floor at a minimum. Now, trying to be careful about what I'm saying, I've seen quite a lot of examples of where this pay floor is not being met, and by quite a drastic amount, where I feel like the estimates can't be correct. So something that I've been pushing for them to do is for them to do an actual time audit to see how accurate their actual estimates are. They've got plenty of people that work for Deliveroo as employees that actually go out and cycle on the roads as well. I know Will Shue even did it for a long period of time. So what I've asked them to do is, if you think these estimates are correct, then please go out on the road, take a log of how your earnings were, and share a real-time audit with us. For 25-26, pay floor is $12.30 plus vehicle costs per hour. That means if an order is estimated to take 20 minutes, the fee will be at least $4.10 plus vehicle costs. How accurate are Deliveroo's estimates? Our estimates are based on real-world data from millions of journeys and take into account average routes, traffic conditions, wait times, and the pickup and customer that you might experience. Your past orders don't impact the estimates or fees for you as an individual. So they're tracking data from previous deliveries to make these estimates. So this is another thing where I think cyclists are getting done on both ends, is because they're tracking previous data. So anybody that's driving around in a car and saying they're a bike is obviously going to be skewing this data. Now, on the other side, anybody who is cycling on a illegally modified e-bike is also going to be skewing the data. We closely monitor how long orders actually take to ensure our estimates on average. I haven't seen any of this. They're saying they remain very accurate. There are, of course, always unexpected conditions on some orders, like traffic jams. On an individual order, the estimate might be longer than it really takes you to deliver. On some orders, the estimate might be shorter. So it's saying on some orders, the estimate might be longer, some the estimate might be shorter. The problem I got with this is the agreement is a pay floor. So if they're saying the estimate might be incorrect, in my personal opinion, they should be making it up. If they find that their estimates are incorrect, they should be making up the difference, because they're using the word guarantee. But there we go. How does the wait time at pickup affect my delivery fees? We monitor wait times at pickup very closely to ensure the average wait time at a restaurant shop customer is reflected in our delivery estimates. Sometimes wait can be longer than expected, and sometimes it can be shorter than expected. We're always introducing new technology to improve our accuracy and ways to reduce wait times at the pickup and the customer. such as partners being able to tell us when an order is ready sooner than expected, and rider check-in tags at partner sites. At the delivery location, if you're unable to reach a customer, you have the option to try and contact them through the app, and after a reasonable wait, I don't believe 7 minutes is a reasonable wait, but there we go, you'll be able to leave the order in a safe place and mark it's completed. So with restaurant waiting times, don't forget we have negotiated them to start paying for excessive. So what it looks like they're saying is if they are including restaurant waiting times in fees, they're saying that they're expecting riders to wait 10 minutes because that's when they are bringing in the extra fee, which is interesting to look at. Do I keep any tips I receive? Of course, customers have the option to tip before or after you deliver the order or in cash at the door. You'll receive 100% of the tip. If you work with other riders on a large order, the tip is then split between the riders who deliver it. So it's giving you an example here. So if you take 20 minutes to deliver an order by car, here's how much your pay will be for that order will be calculated. So order time 20 minutes gives you an hourly rate of $4.10 plus a vehicle cost of $142, giving you a total of $5.52. And that's about it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. For me, this is definitely the most comprehensive explanation of pay that Deliveroo has ever put out there in the public. Normally, or before, it's been about 2 sentences long. So yeah, there's definitely a few things to pick out there. The word guarantee and estimate don't really go together very well, in my opinion. And that's something that I made quite clear to them as well. We are constantly fighting them on this pay floor to make sure that it's adhered to correctly. I would also say that they had, I believe, some form of pay floor before the GMB was involved. I think they just allowed the GMB to negotiate the pay floor as part of the agreement. Also, the other thing is the minimum fees. In my opinion, the fact that in sort of 2018, the minimum fee on the network was about £4, and it's now $2.90 for a cyclist and $3.15 for a motorised vehicle, I feel like it's madness. But there we go. Don't know why I'm talking to the microphone. I should be talking to the camera, but there we go. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope it's sort of like enlightened you to how pay is working at the moment on the Rider app. Some people still feel like it's being tracked by mile or in some other way. I hear all sorts of different things. Just to let you know, Uber is using a similar model as well. I know they used to do it by mileage, but that has completely gone. Don't forget as well, guys, this is purely talking about the floor, so the minimum. So this down here should be your minimum amount, not the average, the minimum. But have a great day. I shall catch you in the next video.